Hey guys! So China was awesome. I did a field program there, which is where Semester at Sea plans the whole trip for you. China's a really big country, so it was really nice to have people planning out everything that I did, and I got to see Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. So here's some pictures and videos from my trip. The boat docked in Shanghai, so the first thing we did is we went to a mall and grabbed some lunch. Marley's mom was in China, and so we were able to be picked up by a driver and taken right to lunch. I had mushroom pot stickers, which were very yummy. Next we went into a town where we got to see some older architecture, and we found a market where we could buy some fun little souvenirs. That night we went out in Shanghai. We got to go to the 87th floor of the Hyatt, which had a fun little bar, and we ran into a lot of sassers up there, so it was really fun. The next morning we boarded our buses and headed to the airport to board our flight to Beijing for our field program. This is what the meal they served us on the airplane looked like. When we got to Beijing, we took a rickshaw ride into town. It took us to a Chinese family's home where they cooked us dinner and shared with us about their family. The food was really yummy, probably the best food I had all week. This is Madison and I at Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen Square is one of the largest city squares in the world. It is the location of many important events from Chinese history. Tiananmen means Gate of Heavenly Peace. Our tour guide told us that the Chinese people are very superstitious, so we rubbed each of these gold knobs for good luck on the way in. As we entered the Forbidden City, we learned that many emperors used to live there with their families, and it also served as a political center for the Chinese government. Here's me rubbing another tree for good luck. Next we went to the Confucius Temple, where I got to burn incense. You were supposed to bow 3 times before you threw it into the fire. I also tried to throw a coin for good luck. I made it, but it bounced off. We also got to see the world's largest Buddha carved out of one single tree. It was 26 meters high. Next, we stopped by a cute little Chinese market where I got some yummy Chinese candy. Next, we headed to an acrobatic show. It was so cool to see all of the amazing things they could do. Then we went to dinner, which is always served family style with one of those rotating plates in the middle to pass around the food. That next morning, we went to a kung fu show. Next, we went to a jade factory. All the jewelry was so beautiful. So the next thing we did, and one of the things that I was looking forward to most about this trip, was we climbed the Great Wall. I climbed the Great Wall! It was really beautiful and just really fun. Here's some videos and pictures from that. There was a place on the wall where you could sign your name, so I did. When we finally made it to the top, there was a lot of other sassers up there, and so we all stopped and hung out for a little bit and took lots of pictures. Next, we got to take a toboggan ride down the Great Wall. It was so cool and so fun. It was Brian's birthday that night, so we all hung out in the hotel lobby while we were waiting for everyone to get ready, and then we met up with a bunch of other sassers at a Chinese club. The next morning we went to the Temple of Heaven. There was a lot of Chinese people that were gathered around. Some of them were dancing for their morning workouts, some of them were gambling, and a lot of them were playing hacky sack. It was a beautiful temple. Next we went to a tea ceremony where I got to try lots of different types of tea. This is the Pearl Market in Beijing where they sell lots of designer brands for cheap. Then we headed to the airport to board our flight to Hong Kong. Our tour guide told us it was the biggest airport in the world. When we got to Hong Kong, we decided to go out to the LKF district. It was lined with bars and clubs, but people partied in the streets. As we pulled out of port, we watched the Hong Kong light show. It was really cool to experience the culture in China since it's so different than anything I'm used to, but it was interesting and I had a great time overall. Now on to Vietnam. Bye!